Hey everyone, happy May the 4th. Today I want to show you how you can use Monocle and Okahu to find issues with your agents before you release them to your user. So today I'll be showing you a demo. We have an NBA agent that can retrieve game scores and standings for curious users. We will test our agent for hallucinations using Monocle pytest and Okahu evaluations. We're going to use Claude CLI to see if it can analyze the failure using the Monocle trace data and fix the problem. And then we're going to rerun the test and the Okahu evaluation and see if there is a hallucination or not. So let's go ahead and get started. So in this test case, we have our query. What was the Cleveland Cavaliers score on this date? We invoke our agent. Monocle collects that data in a JSON file. And then we're going to use Okahu evaluations to see if there's a hallucination or not. We expect no hallucinations. So we'll go ahead and test if there was one. Here we can see our test failed. Let's see why. We can see that we evaluated for hallucination and we expected no hallucination but received major hallucination. And it seems to be that because the details in the conversation are not supported by the tools. So let's go ahead and ask Claude to see what the issue was. We will here we're asking Claude to check out the Monocle trace data, and then we're going to ask it to see why it affected this test case and how we can solve it, and then rerun the test to make sure its solution actually worked. And as you can see, it is using the latest Monocle trace. Now we can see that Claude found some data from the Monocle trace that may indicate where the issue is, and it found two main problems with our agent. Now it's going ahead and applying those solutions, and now we're going to see it run the test again to verify that there are no more hallucinations in our agent and that it is working as expected. Okay, great. Now we can see that our test case passed this time, and we can see the summary on what changed and why it needed to be changed. So now if we want to see this in your IDE directly, you can actually open up the Okahu extension and you can get the traces from the Okahu cloud. You can go ahead and see the results of your evaluation are persistent. So we can see here's our first test case where we received major hallucination, and we can see the trace data that Monocle went over, or that the Claude went over. Here we can see we can open up the Okahu extension. We can check out what the hallucination evaluation result was, and we can see the data that Claude CLI went over and Okahu went over to come to that conclusion. And we can see the inputs and outputs to each stage. And then here is our most recent trace, the one that occurred after Claude implemented the fix. And we can see that there's no hallucination. We can see the reasoning for that, and we can see the trace as well. So I hope that helps you guys, and you can utilize Monocle and Okahu going forward to help minimize the errors and solve the errors in your agents going forward. Thank you for joining me today.